Welcome back to the IBFP. Here's your host, Foxy New.
Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Let's just dig right into it. Errol Spence Jr. is not strap season. He's duck season. Let's just break it down honestly and objectively. And we start with Derrick James giving a recent interview. And you know what? This is from a Fight Hype affiliate, Sean Zitto. And he basically stated that he spoke with Derrick James. He says him and Errol Spence have been back in the gym without sparring for about 4 weeks. He likes Errol's reactiveness and speed so far, and he says he's ready for any fight that Errol Spence Jr. is, but Terence Crawford makes 0 sense business-wise. Now, let's just break it down honestly and objectively. Now, you basically saying that, you and Errol Spence are pretty much for any fight in the welterweight division, except for Terence Crawford, and it's because of a business. It just doesn't make sense. Now, that makes absolutely no sense. It's delusional, and let me explain to you why. Because you see, Errol Spence Jr., he was ready, even before the car accident, to take on Danny Garcia. He wasn't looking to unify with Terence Crawford, and this wasn't a multi-million-dollar huge pay-per-view payday type of fight. This was a Danny Garcia who had no title, and a Danny Garcia who's lost to the biggest names in the welterweight division. He's lost to Sean Porter. He's lost to Keith Thurman. So instead of looking to unify against Terence Crawford, instead of looking to be a great fighter, instead of looking to try to become a pound-for-pound and undisputed champion by taking on Terence Crawford, going through all the best fighters, Errol Spence Jr. was looking for a Danny Garcia. How did that fight make sense? It simply doesn't. Because, at the end of the day, Terence Crawford has a world title. He's a pound-for-pound fighter, and he would be automatically the biggest fight that can be made in the welterweight division. People aren't asking for Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence. People are not clamoring for that fight. People are clamoring for Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. That is the fight that everyone wants to see. That's the fight people are begging for. That is the biggest fight that can be made in the welterweight division. It's similar to, Joshua Wilder. And you see how that fight didn't make it. And it was simply because these guys let it marinate for way too long. Deontay Wilder didn't want to take the fight. And it's the same thing with this Errol Spence and Terence Crawford situation. Once again, Errol Spence simply does not want to take this fight. He's not interested in the fight. And the fact that he says he doesn't make sense business-wise, Derrick James just exposed his logic and thinking at the end of the day, it's an excuse and it makes no sense. It would be the biggest fight and probably the biggest payday he can make in the welterweight division. But you know why? Even Terence Crawford came out and basically stated that, he wants Errol Spence to take the fight, and he wants him to quit making weak excuses and and face him in a super fight. That makes sense. And it's not about the money. It's an excuse. Errol Spence Jr. really is not about strap season. He doesn't want to fight the best. He want to fight guys where he feel like he can have a decided edge. He fought Kell Brook. Kell Brook was coming off a knockout loss, down 2 weight classes, no tune-up, was stabbed in the leg, broken eye surgery. You see that laundry list of things, and yet Kell Brook was still giving him hell for the first 6 rounds until the eye went. And then you look at a guy like Mikey Garcia, a guy moving up 2 weight classes. You didn't prove you could box just because you beat Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia is not a natural 147 pounder. He beats no elite welterweights. Period. And then you see Errol Spence Jr. move to Sean Porter. When he fights Sean Porter, at the end of the day, that was a razor-thin margin. It was a split decision. Even a judge had it going to Sean Porter. I personally thought Sean Porter won that fight, but they gave it to Errol Spence Jr. in more of a gift decision. If it was Canelo Alvarez who had a fight that razor-thin, everyone would have said it was a robbery. The judges are crooked. But since it was Errol Spence, everyone looks the other way. We got to be honest and unbiased. This guy wants no smoke with Terence Crawford because it's not strap season, it's duck season. Once again, unbiased as always, it's the IBFP.